Hey Race Fan, Brian Davis races, and you can too. Now over the last couple months I've done a few meal planning videos and I think they're really important. So as I look back on 2019, what are the things that really changed my performance, made me feel like I was a stronger, better cyclist? There's a lot of things I did in training to help, but there's one major thing I did in the kitchen that made a huge difference. This is the easiest bread that you will make. Now, why bread? Fresh baked bread that you know exactly what ingredients are going into this thing. It's an amazing way to look forward to eating this food instead of the processed food that comes out of your cabinet. Because I'll take that bread, slice off a chunk, I'll dip it in olive oil and balsamic vinegar, I'll put a little bit of butter on it, I'll toast it, I'll make croutons out of it, all kinds of different stuff. So if I have bread, I will eat it. If I don't have it, I will eat junk. So that's why I consider this a meal planning video. And I have a dear friend who's a professional, or was a professional baker, and she added her own unique spin to this recipe. So I'm going to post her recipe in the description down below. Be sure to check that out, and that is the recipe that we're going to make today. Thanks for checking out the channel. The goal on this channel is to grow our sport, grow our knowledge, and grow our fitness, and hopefully I delivered that to you today. I want to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you get a chance, a great way to support the channel is to buy socks from my website, followhollow.com.
Alright Race Fam, I've made this bread dozens and dozens of times. It's super easy, and once you get the hang of it, you can whip these things out pretty quickly, so you'll always have bread hanging out in the house. Recipe list is really simple, and the tools you need also very simple. So in this particular version, I put a little more whole wheat than I think I have ever done before. I'm not sure I like it. I might just stick with white in the future. A little rapid rise yeast. Follow the instructions on there, or not on there, on the recipe. And a little bit of salt. I forgot to whisk the dry ingredients before I poured those in. Not sure it matters a ton. And I also think my yeast is getting a little bit aged, so it might not be rising as much as I would like. But I think we'll survive. This bread is pretty idiot-proof. It's hard to screw up. So I usually use beer, but I didn't feel like putting a beer in there, so I grabbed these little mini Coke, and that works really well. It made the bread a bit darker than I'm used to seeing, plus the whole wheat I used, but the taste was fantastic, and then I don't have any beer in the bread, which I don't know if I like that or not. I think I like beer in my bread. Alright, so you mix that up, and what we're looking for here is what's called a shaggy ball. So you always have to add a little bit more moisture to this than what the recipe says, so I usually keep that beer handy and end up usually getting it all in there. If you don't have enough beer, don't want to put any more beer in there, you can use water. But really you're interested in getting this consistency where things just sort of stick together in the ball, and almost like peaks as you mess around with it. There's little peaks in the ball. Now another thing I was missing on this particular day is I ran out of parchment paper, which kind of sucked because I had to use some improvisation to make it all work, which was this non-stick spray I'll show you here in a second. So after that dough sits for 24 hours, you're going to grab it and work it into, it could be 8, it could be 6, you know, plus or minus, right? No big deal. So then you work it into a floured surface. This is called no-knead bread from the New York Times, but you do end up kneading it just a little bit. And this is where parchment paper is really handy, which I didn't have. So I used this easy bake stuff, which is amazing. If you don't use that for baking, it's fantastic. All right, so then that's going to sit for a little while, and then about an hour before you're ready to actually start cooking, or half hour I should say, then it's 500 degrees to get your Dutch oven super hot. Be really careful with the Dutch oven. It's easy to forget that that thing is that hot, but it is super hot. And then put a little knife cut in there just for aesthetics, and some flour dusting on top, again just for aesthetics. Put that back in the oven that I will not clean. I don't care how many comments are about it, but if you think I should clean it, leave me a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Is it that bad? Or do all your ovens look like that? I don't know. Alright, so you bake it covered for a little while, and then you take it out, then you uncover it for a little while, and then it comes out, and oh my god, it's amazing. So it looks fantastic. It tastes fantastic. And back to my original point, it keeps you away from junk food because you look forward to eating this versus a bunch of chips or crackers that you have in your pantry. Who wouldn't want to eat this first? Oh my gosh, this thing looks amazing, and it tastes amazing too. So make bread. Be happy.